It was very disturbing to learn late in the year about just how how poor his health has become. And like many, I did not realize that it had gotten to that point. That being said, I think he showed up for the job. He got the work done. I think some of the accomplishments also in the Middle East and foreign policy will also stand the test of time.
You think the Middle East is in better shape today than when he took office?
Well, I think he got our hostages home. I think that's a big deal. I think it's important.
I'm sorry, which hostages?
He's gotten a number of people home. He was able.
There's still 100 people over there.
Well, there were more than
including some Americans. Look, I think he's gonna leave office in disgrace. The Hunter Biden pardon was disgraceful. He's going to be remembered largely for inflation and for the disastrous Afghanistan pullout. And I think as we continue to, we're just getting the first draft of this now, but as we continue to learn about the massive cover-up that went on, not about his health, but about his mental acuity, to cover that up, the efforts that were undertaken by the White House staff, by his family, not in the last couple of months, but for all 4 years, I think it's going to be a really ugly chapter. It's a diminished presidency because of it. And I think we still don't know the full extent of what they did to try to hide what they've been doing over in the West.
Just can't make it up, y'all, you know. Huge shout out to that Patriot there, though, man. Brother Scott, man. Y'all loved our video we did yesterday, man. Thank y'all for all the love and support, man. I love you guys. And I hope everybody is blessed, well, and healthy, man. Shout out to them beautiful patriots around the world. My brothers and sisters, man. One love to the human race. And we're going to keep spreading that, y'all. You know. But common sense, man. Common sense is coming back. And we all to think just shut the whole thing down. And everybody want their money back. Just shut the whole thing down. Yeah. When y'all lied from the beginning, you know. Shut the whole thing down. Yeah. But the hell with a Democrat or the hell with a Republican, you know. Just shut the whole thing down. You know, give everybody back their money. In this corrupt scam matrix. Yay! You know. But CNN. Oh boy, CNN. Communist News Network, the Clinton News Network. Oh man, they back at it again. We're back in enemy territory, y'all. And she cuts the, you know, when they get destroyed, they cut. We seen all this year, especially, you know, even before then. But when it gets real, they cut the break, they cut the feed. You know, when that truth start coming out, they don't want to hear it. They run from it, they hide from it. You know, they try to move on and move on to the next thing, to redirect the question. Like, no, man, no. You know, and as you can see, Scott once again just destroys panel after panel, trying to defend Joe Biden's legacy. You know, a cheap fake, a deep fake. He's as sharp as a tack. He got the job done. Yeah. But I couldn't wait to get into this, man. I cannot wait to get into this. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And again, Scott gets a lot of love on my channel, man. We love Scott. I thought he was gonna get fired or removed long time ago, but still hanging in there, man. But he does have a bright future, and he has a lot of more opportunities even after CNN, man. So bless Scott and his family, man. And shout out to all them conservatives out there. Shout out to all the ones that speak truth. You know, when we start hitting them with the real, we get attacked. We get, you know, it's a censorship. I mean, we get hit upside the head, removed. I mean, all kind of stuff, man. It is crazy, man, especially us conservatives, man. So we're going to keep hitting them with it, baby. Let's check it out.
Did it not? 4 years of Donald Trump, 4 years of a Joe Biden DOJ looking into these very things. I'm still waiting to see.
Well, he can't be charged. He's the president.
Right? I'm
Joe
still
Biden
waiting.
Can't be charged.
I'm not talking about charges. I'm still waiting to see the proof of Joe Biden enriching himself. I take his brother and his son, perhaps.
I'll give you
I think that has yet to materialize. Otherwise,
I'll give you the direct
your colleague, James Comer, could have produced the evidence, and he didn't.
He did. A Chinese company transferred money to a shell company owned by Hunter and Jim Biden that then transferred money directly to Jim and Sarah Biden's shell company that then transferred the money to Jim and Sarah's personal account, who then immediately wrote a check for $40,000 to Joe Biden. So to say that there was no evidence, to say there was no evidence is not true. It's not true.
What I'm saying is that Trump was president for 4 years. He wanted to charge Joe Biden. Why did the charges not come? And I think that still remains an open question. If there is something illegal happening here, there should be charges on the basis of what you're saying, and there have not been.
Well,
he
just pardoned Hunter.
That is
for an 11-year time
He pardoned Hunter Biden.
An 11-year time
He
period.
just wiped the slate.
Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys.
Look,
Jim will be next, by the way.
We're waiting for the charges, and when the charges come, we'll have a conversation about that. I promise you that. Solomon Jones, thank you very much for joining us. Everyone else, hang tight. Coming up next.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, cut the break. Yeah. You know, and this happens so many times, man. So many times. How many times we covered this? You know, but when that truth start hitting, when that truth start coming out, people get, you know, it's time to cut the break. It's time to cut people off. You know, they've removed people live on air. Y'all seen it take place when that truth start coming out. They cut the entire feed. Sorry, we'll talk to you later. Sorry. A disgrace.
Exactly like I told you guys, it's the perfect example of why nobody takes the mainstream media seriously anymore. The moment Joe Biden's alleged influence peddling comes up, Abby Phillip goes from just a journalist asking questions to straight up Democrat shill bringing up all the same talking points we've heard a million times before. I'm still waiting to see proof that Joe Biden is enriching
millions of times, man. And this, like I told y'all, this is why CNN, MSNBC, ABC, that whole alphabet, and why they've lost so much viewership. And the reason why sometimes you still have viewership levels is because of these conservatives still on the panel. Speaking truth like Scott. Like that lady really sat up there and said, he got the job, you know. He actually didn't have a bad presidency. He got the job done. And he didn't been on, and 60% of his presidency, he didn't went on vacation. Unbelievable. Vacation. We funding vacations.
himself. There is no evidence to suggest any wrongdoing or involvement from the president. Really? Either these people are living in a New York bubble or under a rock, or she's purposely lying and misleading the people. No evidence, you say? That is a ridiculous statement. There is ample evidence. Let's just start off with probably the best of all, because in my view, I mean, it's direct smoking gun evidence. Let's talk about Tony Bobulinski. You all remember what he said, right?
Shows 20% for H. H is Hunter Biden. 20% for RW is Rob Walker. 20% for JG is James Gillier. 20% for TB, that's me, Tony Bobulinski. And then it says 10 for Jim, and that's Jim Biden. And then it says 10 held for H for the big guy. The H in that message is Hunter Biden, and the big guy, 100%, is Joe Biden.
Why do you say that 100%?
It's crystal clear. There was nobody else who they would be listing as the big guy.
Tony Bobulinski, who is Hunter Biden's former business partner, has directly implicated Joe Biden as being involved in their business dealings. And Tony Bobulinski said it definitively. He didn't allege, he didn't allude to the fact that Joe Biden might have been involved. No, Tony Bobulinski confirmed that Joe Biden was the big guy that Hunter Biden was referencing in his emails discussing a 10% cut from a deal with a Chinese energy company. And again, this isn't some anonymous source. It's not some person with a partisan angle or some random deranged lunatic that the Democrats got off the street to point a finger at Donald Trump. This is a first-hand witness with documents and communications to back it all up. This is Hunter Biden's literal business partner who was directly involved in everything that was going on. Oh, but there's no evidence to suggest that Joe Biden was involved at all. No evidence, you say. Well, then what is all of this? Oh, I guess Joe Biden had no involvement. No, none whatsoever. Even though he was present during a lot of the meetings that Hunter Biden was having with foreign leaders, or rather top foreign businessmen. I mean, give me a freaking break. And really, that's just scratching the surface. We also have that infamous text message between Hunter Biden and an executive from CEFC, a Chinese energy company tied to the Communist Party, where Hunter Biden literally starts off with, "I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or a text from anybody involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. Oh, there is no evidence that Joe Biden was involved in any of these schemes to enrich themselves. Give me a frickin' break. Hunter Biden's here acting like a frickin' mobster, threatening Chinese oligarchs using his father as the leverage, while his father is in the room and they're both supposedly expecting a callback, yet Abby Phillip at CNN says there's no evidence. It's absurd, and her claim I find so funny. Where's the evidence that Joe Biden enriched himself? I mean, are you serious? Just look at Joe Biden's lavish lifestyle. Can somebody explain where he got all the money? Again, I've said a million times covering these topics, it's not like the Biden family owns a factory that produces widgets. It's not like their name is behind a big law firm or any other big lucrative family business. From my understanding, they don't do anything or produce anything. They just exist in government. Joe Biden has spent decades in public service, earning a basic congressional salary. And so the question then is, how can he afford the multiple beachfront properties that he owns? How can he maintain this lifestyle that clearly doesn't match his reported income? And from what I remember, when Joe Biden initially took office, he released some of his tax filings and showed that he made $16 million in a single year. Again, where? How? And if that's passive income, maybe coming from assets and stocks, I mean, who knows? How did he attain that level of wealth? $16 million in a single year, doing what exactly? It's just all so frustrating, and really the most infuriating part of this is how the media gaslights the public into thinking that they're the crazy ones for even suggesting that there's merit to these claims. That's certainly what CNN's Abby Phillip is doing. She doesn't seem curious to have the conversation at all. In fact, she clearly shut down the conversation. I wonder why that is. But obviously the evidence is there, and it's substantial enough, I'd say, to justify at least a serious investigation. But they tell you you're crazy to even suggest that, and simply continue to pretend as if it's a non-issue. They write it off as a conspiracy theory, and then pat themselves on the back for engaging in good journalism. CNN, the most trusted name in news. What a giant joke. Not only is there evidence, but I'd say the evidence of Joe Biden's involvement is overwhelming. From the web of shell companies to first-hand witness testimony, to emails, financial transactions, and his inexplicably lavish lifestyle, there's more than enough to justify an investigation. The media, obviously, fake news actors like Abby Phillip don't care about truth or accountability. They care about protecting their political allies. And that is why trust in the media is at an all-time low. They're not journalists, they're Democrat activists in disguise. And Abby Phillip's performance here on CNN isn't just embarrassing.
They are activists. They are not journalists, man. She ought to be ashamed of herself, man, for real. They ought to just shut the whole thing down, strip them of their licenses, you know. And that goes for all of them. MSNBC, you know, there's a bunch of wokies on there too. You know, but a bunch of deranged stage 5 individuals. Yeah. ABC, all of them.
Symptom of a much larger problem. The American people deserve answers. And of course they deserve a media and media figures who are willing to ask the tough questions. But instead, we get people like Abby ending segments the moment they realize that they can't defend the indefensible. It's pathetic, and it's why no one takes their network seriously anymore. Anyways, just an interesting moment.
But nothing new with CNN. Oh, y'all like, Rick, we're not surprised. I mean, how many times have we seen it this year? They cut the feed, cut the break. Especially when things start to get real, they can't defend themselves. The truth start coming out. They don't want to hear the truth. Nothing new. But let me know what y'all think, man. I love y'all. Hope y'all have an amazing rest of the weekend. And start the week off strong. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.